Okay, so you're going to Australia. Now what's that like? You're heading over.
Okay, so oh my God, yeah. So I got my visa. I'm coming to Australia. All excited, but kind of scared. And then the day comes and it really hits me. And oh my God, I cried. I didn't want to go. I was super scared, but I had to go. So boarded, came to Australia, and Venus met me at uni and she showed me around. She was really, really good. And then I met a lot of Kenyans at Wollongong Uni, so that was also good. And yeah, I made really good friendships that I've maintained to this day, which really are the people I met in uni are my family here in Australia. So it was good. But yeah, it was a huge new chapter of my life.
Wow.
And I didn't know that I would then spend the rest of my 20 plus years in Australia.
Yeah. What were you studying?
Biomedical science.
How was that?
Good. Yeah, I love science. I love science.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that was like what you were passionate about it. So you said,
I was always interested in science, but even the older I get, the more I get drawn back into it. I work in a department where we do like diagnostics and stuff. So still in science.
You're still till today?
Yep. And yeah, I just love everything about how the body functions.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So how was that experience? University, you have other Kenyans there. Like, yeah, how was that? Tell us a little bit about
Uni was amazing. It was good to have like people that I connected with, so my Kenyans. So I didn't feel very lonely. Made great friendships, had the best experiences. Like, oh my God, we partied at uni. It was awesome. Yeah, really good friend, Pearl. Oh my God, Pearl and I did a lot together. We lived together. We just go way back. And I'm glad she's still in my life even today. But yeah, it was just really good experience, learning, but creating awesome friendships, having the time of our life. I met lots of people from different parts of the world because I lived at uni accommodation for the beginning of my time in Australia. So met lots of people from different places. Yeah, it was awesome. And also being in Wollongong, which wasn't that big city, it just felt like a little village. Yeah, you'd see a face, like if you saw a face that you didn't know in Wollongong, you'd be like, oh, I've never seen that person before. Yeah, it's like everyone was familiar in Wollongong. Yeah.
What was there any like cultural differences when you came over that kind of like shocked you, even with going out? Or because even when you said you were going out, we'll talk about the cultural differences, but was that your first time even going out partying? Had you done that back home?
I had. I'd gone out in Kenya, but not with permission. So we'd wait for my parents to go to bed, and then we'd sneak out.
What time would they go to bed?
Maybe 9:30, 10:30-ish.
Easy.
And then we'd sneak out. But do you know how we sneaked out? We'd jump off the balcony upstairs because they'd be like, okay, everyone has to go to bed now. And then we'd go upstairs. And in my house, we have like upstairs. And when you go upstairs, you have to lock the upstairs gate. Like it's a big door and we lock it when everyone is upstairs. So we didn't want to open it because obviously my parents would wonder who's opening. Why are you going downstairs again? So we just like, wait, give them time to fall asleep. And then we'd open the door to the balcony upstairs and we'd jump and then go out.
Just to go out, huh?
You'd
go with your brothers?
With my brothers. And then we had friends. Like, how I told you we lived in an estate where we knew people. So like we all knew what time we were all like escaping, running away from home to go out, and we'd all like meet somewhere. And then like, of course we were like so broke. So we'd walk to like the main road, or if someone had managed, and it did happen, to steal their parents' car, then we'd go out in that car.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy.
That's crazy. On this path of life that I'm on right now, I'm always thinking about the future. I'm always thinking about my financial future. How can I make important moves now that are going to impact me when I'm older? This video is sponsored by Raiz. Every time you get an income, you can set weekly, monthly, daily investment goals. You can put aside money while you're growing and seeking the best future for yourself. For me, what I do is every week I have an amount and it puts the money into the stock market. It's all about compounded interest. The actions and the things that you do today are impacting your future. So for me to continually having that compounding interest of money being put away into the stock market, by the time I'm 30, 40, 50 years old, that amount is generational wealth. That is the power of compounded interest. It's always important to think about your future. Always important to think about tomorrow and 20 to 30, 40 years from now. What Raiz has done with the Rubasha Family Podcast, they're going to give you $5 once you sign up with the Raiz app and you're approved. You can start your financial journey today. None of this is financial advice. Hit the link in the description, get $5 into your account once you're approved, and get started on your investment journey today. So, okay, and then the cultural differences, like that, what shocked you, or what was like, whoa, okay.
So for me, arriving in Australia, so I was picked up from the airport by uni, and I remember being like driving down to Wollongong. It was a night. I remember like looking outside and looking at other drivers and thinking, oh my God, everyone is white. Like, it was so strange, like, because I'd never experienced that before. And then I realized that I was a different one. Like, I'd never been anywhere where I was different. Like, it was just like, oh my God, everyone is white. Like, it was like a big shock. Yeah.
Wow. So it was just like, yeah, like, I'm the one who stands out. You're used to just seeing black people everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's crazy when
you're not used to seeing black people. You're used to just seeing people. Because when you're in Kenya, you don't even see color. You're just like people. But when I came here, it was so obvious they were white people.
Wow.
Like, it was so crazy. Yeah.
And it's crazy how you think about it now. When we're growing up, like our generation, we're used to just seeing, white people. It's crazy.
It's normal to see. For you, I think you see the differences. But for us, we didn't see differences and we didn't even know there were differences. Okay, you kind of do, like at the back subconsciously, but it's not really present in your life, so you don't even notice. So it never occurred to me about differences until I came to Australia.
Yeah. Wow. And did you miss your family back home?
Yes, a lot. I'd ring home and cry over the phone, cry like every week. I'd just like ring and cry, and we had to use like calling cards. And they were really expensive. And I'd spend $30. Like, I'd buy a calling card, it was $30, and I'd speak for like 7 minutes, and then boom, it was over, and I'd cry for those 7 minutes. And then one day my parents are like, okay, one boy, enough is enough. We're sending you a ticket, you come back home.
Wow. How old were you there?
Same here.
Oh, the same year?
Yeah, like I struggled with Australia. And then when they said that to me, I was like, hey, wait a minute, I can't go back home. That means I came and like I'm a loser. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, how can you just go back home because you couldn't cope? It just meant I was a loser. So the day they said that to me is the day I stopped calling home and crying.
Yeah.
Yeah, so funny.
You were like, let me just suck it up and
yeah.
Okay, so you go after your first year living in uni. Where did you go live after that?
And then I moved into an apartment with Paul.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And were you paying also for your school fee? Did you have to manage?
No, I didn't have to pay my school fees, luckily. But yeah, so my parents paid that, but I had to make money for my upkeep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And what were you doing?
Ooh, Eve.
Hustling.
Man, tumetoka mbali. Hey, worked in a nursing home.
Wow.
As an assistant, an AIN, assistant in nursing. Do you know what that entails? Do you know what that is?
No.
That is personal hygiene, feeding, all of that stuff.
You're doing it.
Mwah.
So you just boom, and then you're studying at the same time. So you got to manage that with your studies. Wow.
Yeah, that wasn't the hard part. It was hard. The job itself was hard because I remember the first day I turned up at the nursing home for orientation. I was like, oh my God, what's up with the skin? Like, seriously, like, because elderly people, like, their skin is really, really thin and sensitive. Wow. Like, so you would grab them and it would just like tear. And that was new to me because I think for us, when our people, like when they're old, the skin doesn't become sensitive like to tear. Our skin becomes really hard.
Hard.
So
yeah.
like an old person like my grandma, if I grab her, I won't tear her skin because her skin is so like thick.
Yeah.
Like I don't know, like it becomes hard, like it doesn't tear easily. I had never seen like a situation where you can grab someone and boom, the skin comes off. Like it used to come off like, you know how you put glue on and then you let it dry?
Yeah.
And then you just like peel it off. It was like that.
You used to peel off, really?
You're not peeling it off, but if you
like
grab them, like you have to be so careful how you grab them, because if you grab a certain way, like it just peels off. Like it was so scary. I had never seen that. So I was like, oh my God, man. And then, but the worst bit, like the hardest part for me was when someone passed away in the nursing home and they were in my section. So you're meant to like, you know, clean them, prep them, whatever, for the family to come and see. And I was like, oh my God, I can't do this. So you know what I did? I said, in my culture, at my age, I'm not allowed to see dead people.
That's what you said, huh? Yeah.
And then it gave me a bit of a leeway, bought me some time before I was told, hey, I'm sorry about your culture, but this job has to be done. Wow. But yeah, I think for like a year, I didn't have to do that. But yeah, man, it was hard.